Africa is losing a lot by not tapping into this. For any private entrepreneur or public to invest on the development of Iyake Suspended Lake and other tourist attraction there, it's like that person, going to money rituals. This lake there, and the story they tell us was that there was a woman somewhere in a far town who was barren, but she used to be very benevolent to the children. But one day she was being assaulted for her infertility, and you know what that means in our nature. Eventually they made their way to the hill and they saw that little pond. And in those days, those people, powerful people, what they do is that when there is an insulted situation like that, they could decide to become maybe snake, maybe river, maybe lake. She got drained in the lake, and the other children that followed her got drained along with her.
Community leaders in Adoawaye, an agrarian locality of Oyo State, have expressed displeasure over government's perceived inability to fully maximize our tourist potentials. Adoawaye is home to the world's only suspended natural lake and boasts other tourist sites that remains yet untapped. They called for more urgent intervention to place the community on the world map.
While she was coming from that town, she was crying for being that badly assaulted. Despite all her benevolence, she was seriously crying. So the other children who does not have boldness to get drained, they went back to their community. Report that woman who was crying has drowned. So they led their people to this place. This is where the woman crying got drowned. So the woman crying gave back to the name Iyake. This is where Iyake.
The Iyake Hills in proverbial Yoruba language denotes a mother shedding tears. Located in the Araromi local council district of Iseyin in Oyo State, the breathtaking monument lies yet untapped.
That this is a gold untapped. This is a gold unmined. And any attempts to put development there will enjoy.
And there are 7 hills, serene environment, beautiful. So this coming here has largely exposed us. And as a ministry, we have made up our mind when we go back, we think outside the box. How can we assist government to turn this into revenue making?
The over 9,000 step long mountainous journey up the hill is exhausting, yet a climber's delight. The first ascension upward the hill leads to the Ishagbe Rock. Historically, it's a convergence point for women seeking the fruit of the womb. Prayers are said to receive divine answers here.
This is what we call Iyake Lake, where our forefathers, when they like of bearing a child, they come here to come and beg for a child. And that time, God answered them through this Iyake Lake. And to God be the glory. Today, we have some children in the town where they bear that name, Iyake.
History has it that the Iyalaro Lake was the origin for the tie and dye profession and is a central home for indigents of Adoawaye who ply the arrow trade.
Ibi tí a wà báyìí nísìn òun ní ṣe Ìyá Aláró. Nígbà tí àwọn baba ńlá baba wa tí wọ́n fi wà ní orí òkè yìí, kò sí àárín aṣọ kọ́lọ́dé àṣegbá àṣàwò. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú wọn, wọ́n yẹn iṣẹ́ aró, wọ́n yẹn láàyò débi pé gbogbo aṣọ pọ̀nkí lábíà pọ̀nkí tí wọ́n ń ṣe, àwọn ó ṣe ní aró. Níbi tí wọ́n ti gbé máa wà ń ṣe iná ẹ̀ ní èyí. Omi yìí kì í ṣe pé kó yá pé gbẹ, ó máa ń gbẹ ṣùgbọ́n ojú rẹ̀ ìfààyàn mọ́ra so ojú rẹ̀ ò dá débi pé èèyàn ó mọ́ tá a bá sì kúkú rí aró náà á kúkú rí i pé yóò dúdú yóò ṣe rókírókí ni so bẹ́ẹ̀ aró ṣe wà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni òun náà ṣe wà.
Same in that mountain. Yanaro was a woman that we used to making dye in those days. So when you hear about dye, this is the origin of dye making in Yoruba land.
Atop the Iyake Hills is a tree depicting the full statue of an elephant. Our guide gives us more insight.
This is where we call elephant tree. In the olden days, as we hear, is one of the elephants uproot the tree and fall it down, so and make his own sign, which is this. As you look at it, you will see this is the horn, the eyes as well. So that's why we call it elephant tree.
Other tourist sites atop the hills are Agbamofunyake, Ese Awon Agba, Ese Kan Aye, Ese Kan Orun. But sitting majestically at the summit of the mountain is the Iyake Lake, the only suspended natural lake in the world.
Odò Iyake yìí àwọn bàbá wa wọ́n bá níbẹ̀ ni nígbà tí ogun Dahomey tó lé wọn dé ibí yìí wọ́n wá wò pé ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró sí ibí yìí wọ́n sá dúró sí ẹ̀gbẹ́ yẹn.
When we were very young, some white came here and they wanted to discern the depth of the lake, but they went inside, they couldn't come back. So that gave the attestation to the oracle we met that it was bottomless. So since ages, nobody has ever been able to go inside and come back. It's mystical, it's bottomless, it's medicinal, it's cultural. And when you look at it in the facial, it looks greenish. But when you fetch the water, it's ageless, pureless, very pure, colorless, and tasteless.
Traditional leaders as well as history custodians have expressed displeasure over government's inability to fully explore the potential of nature's gift to this community.
Hope with this documentary time, we'll be able to have the favor of both the private and the public investors to come to Adoawaye to invest. You will discover that the economy started in Nigeria with cocoa. By and large, cocoa came and gone, and oil took over. And we can all predict that in a few years' time, oil may no longer be. But tourism have life sustainability. Look at Gambia. I mean, all these countries that are that are into tourism, discover that they are booming economically. In fact, those people who went to Colorado told us that Colorado accounted for 65% of their GDP. That was even a one that is made naturally, I mean artificially. How much will you expect one that is made, I mean, naturally?
If this place as it is, in its natural state, unless anybody that knows the history of Iyake, the suspended lake, it's not too inviting. But if it's turned around to places like the suspended lake in Colorado, that one man-made, the traffic there is huge. So with exposure to investors and government, Oyo State government has a plan to accommodate investors. That's why an agency was specifically created at the inception of this administration.
Iyake Lake is one of the over 170 tourist destination sites in Oyo State, begging for urgent government attention, which if left unattended to could have negative impact on the fortunes of Oyo State.